I know how lonely and isolating that can be, and how much just a chat can help. So we wanted to use this space to help other people who have been who are in them situations that I have experienced.
Hi folks, Martin here from Peace Unplugged. Today's podcast is with Everglow Delights, two young ladies who started a community cafe in Birchington. This podcast was recorded on the premises in the cafe. Enjoy. Everglow Delights is a community cafe, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so what inspires you to start the...
Well, we had the events business first, which was parties and obviously children. We initially wanted to open the play centre, like a large play centre, but then we wanted something more intimate, something more small, more meaningful. So then we had the ideas of the soup kitchen, the food bank, the clothes bank, and just preferred that idea, Yeah, I just feel like people struggle with so many different types of things, and if we can help with that, then that's what we want to do. There's a lack of resources available for mental health, for children, for families, for food, but it definitely came from our own problems that we've had in the past. I've struggled with financial struggles, and it can be quite embarrassing to reach out for help, so we wanted to make it a place that it's not so embarrassing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, did I cover everything there?
Providing a safe space.
Yeah.
To come and talk, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And then all the groups.
We've made all the groups free, haven't we?
Yeah. So we have the parent group, which I don't have children, but Ellie has 2 children. Talk about the...
Oh yeah, it's just being a new mum is very lonely, especially young babies. So the mum group is so everyone can socialise together. And most people who come in apart, don't they? And then they leave together and they're friends together.
Yeah, a lot of friendships have been made here, especially with the parent and me group. And then the knitting and the reading club is the same sort of thing.
Yeah, the knitting group for the elderly people, especially, they've made quite a few friendships through that, and
they've meet here weekly now.
Yeah, they've all said they've been looking forward all week to their meetings, like the knitting meeting, which is nice.
And the coffee morning I'd like to start on a Sunday. That will be weekly, general wellbeing. I struggled quite badly with mental health in the past. I know how lonely and isolating that can be, and how much just a chat can help. So we wanted to use this space to help other people who have been who are in them situations that I have experienced. We have the youth club starting in a couple of weeks.
Excellent.
We was keeping that one quiet, but we'll talk about it now. So that'll be on Tuesday and Thursday evening. The time's to be confirmed. This is being run by an outside lady who has experience running youth clubs, and it's from year 4 to year 13. So their age is about 9 to 18. So they'll be using our space free of charge. It'll be in here, and each week there'll be different activities. And that aim is obviously to try and give children and teenagers a safe space to hang out, rather than at a park where they can, be doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So we have that. We're also, from today, we found out, it's confirmed, we're now the meeting point for Women's Institute, 1-in-1. So we'll be letting them use the space free of charge as well. And then we're in talks with, we're trying to set up a stop smoking group. I'm a smoker, but I want to start. And I thought, who better to facilitate a stop smoking group than someone who is stopping smoking and doing the journey with them. So we was in talks with a lady she works for NHS, stop smoking, the survey, and her friend was doing some tarot cards.
Right.
So we wanted to host a spiritual day, do some tarot cards, some angel cards, the inner child cards as well.
Yeah.
And then finally, the one I was going to talk about, this one's not confirmed, but it's in, we're communicating at the minute. to offer our space for mental health workers. So there's lack of places that they can take like their patients, and we're currently talking about potentially offering our top floor again free of charge, so they can take like do some activities up there with them, because they only have one space I think in Broadstairs, and it's all gardening. Obviously when the weather's not great, they can't be outside, they get cold, they get bored. Yeah, we have a lot of plans that we want to do.
Beautiful.
A lot of plans.
Did you get yourself, did you apply for funding to get all this started?
So the way we set up the business was a government-backed loan. So it's a business loan, not a personal loan. But in regards to all the groups that we've set up, and the food bank, the clothes bank, the soup kitchen, that's all self-funded. We did apply for a loan, a grant, for the Parent and Me group. So that was through Kent Council, I think it was. And we were declined. We didn't meet the requirements, but we didn't want to close the groups or stop the groups, so we continued to do them like free of charge.
What I would advise you to do is keep on trying that you don't necessarily know about, and loans and ones.
Yeah, you just have to search for it.
Find them, apply for them, find them. I like it when there's lots of little projects that are going. They might be doing similar things, so they collaborate.
Yeah.
And rather than becoming just one organisation, when it becomes big and corporate, and then.
But there's always people that can benefit from things like that, which is why we know that there's a couple of other groups that run with the same sort of theme. But at the end of the day, it's better to have more help than not enough help.
Absolutely.
Which is why we've tried to make it obviously run on different days than other locals. I know there's a parent group on a Thursday down at the library, I believe. Which is why I made ours a Tuesday. Then that can help a parent get out of the house with a child twice a week.
Or if they can't make one, they might be able to make the other. That's the whole idea of doing it.
Even the knitting group, there's, I think I know 3 or 4 knitting groups in Birchington, but it means that the people who join, they can go multiple times a week, it's free.
Yeah.
You can just come out and meet some new people each time.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the friendships. They sit and they chat for the whole 2 hours, and they're excited to see each other the next week. It is really nice, because that's what was our aim. We want people to be able to make friends. I struggle making friends. I find it hard to just hosting the groups.
You've got loads of ideas.
We've got loads of ideas. So
I want to host a board game group,
and then I want to do the arts and crafts on my day off. So we're stuck between it a little bit.
Yeah, my board game idea is more based for children though as well.
Right.
Because I feel like children nowadays are so on their iPads and stuff like that. They seem to forget what board games are.
Yeah.
And I've got my little boy who's obsessed with board games. We've got loads and loads of board games that he just wants to play with people with. So I was thinking about doing the board game here. Just like people just to come and go, and
it stimulates them as well.
Yeah, we wanted to so it would be a certain price to do the group, this one, but it does actually include lunch.
Yeah.
So it's essentially you're only paying for the lunch, but it would be based around lunchtime, so you can all play, have lunch together, and then go back to playing again for a bit or leave.
Yeah.
And it's not mandatory that you have to join these groups every single week. You can come and go as you please.
Especially with that one as well, we're aiming that one at older children, because obviously our soft play is only for
this one I think
under.
is for 7 and older. So because obviously where it's the soft play is 5 and under, children 6 and over, they can also do something here. Because we have had quite a lot of customers say, "Oh, my children are older, there's nothing they can do." So the board game group, that includes them as well, and especially on the weekend when they're not at school.
That kind of links in with U-Club stuff as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. We're actually looking into doing support groups in that aspect, aren't we? There's quite a lot of ideas we've got for around that.
You could offer something like a space for Al-Anon, which is, like Alcoholics Anonymous. Al-Anon is families around that. And so the families can go around.
No, definitely. We have the top floor we've just got access to, which is a blank canvas at the minute. Which
there's lots of ideas we
have. We're struggling to decide to settle on what to do. But then that is something that I have experience with. I worked for a charity. I was a group facilitator. Got there in the end. Group facilitator for people with borderline personality disorder. and that would be myself and about 10 people, and I would guide the group because that is something that I've had experience with myself. So, and then I'm a qualified counsellor, and I've been working for a suicide helpline for 11 months now. So I definitely have the experience and the qualifications to be able to qualified as a children's counsellor literally last month, and a adults counsellor that was last year. And another module I have coming up is addiction counselling. It's something that's quite close to like both our hearts, really, isn't it? Addiction counselling.
Keep it very much like so it almost becomes like a family in itself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
A lot of customers have actually already said that. When they come and like go to the play area, they feel like they said they feel like they're coming to someone's house because it's so homely and warm here and like friendly,
Beautiful.
which is nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we try to speak to all of our customers, not just serving them, but making, you know, more than just small talk. Try and actually get to know them a little bit.
Well, I know when I walked in here a couple of months ago, just randomly, so it was this weird bloke with a beard, come in the shop and asked you, and he was so open and so friendly, and I just thought, because it takes a little bit now sometimes to do that, and just look and say, oh, could I do this, could I do that?
Yeah.
I think it was really nice of you were really kind of open and excited and wanting to. There's lots of elderly people that people can have like call buttons if they fall.
Yeah.
It's great that those things cost a lot of money, but they also take an awful lot of setting up. Because there's lots of IT technical stuff around.
Yeah, definitely.
Most people won't really know how to have that maintained.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, that's an issue. All of us can collaborate in that way, so we all.
I applied for a volunteer role over the Christmas period to be like a befriender. I ended up applying too late, but then I saw that they fund tea parties. And by fund it, they literally just covered like the ingredients, the tea, the coffee, the biscuits. And I said that I'm happy to host one at the shop. But turns out they couldn't actually let me proceed with that because part of that, you know, the tea party would be to collect the elderly from their homes. Right. Now I don't drive, and you know, I can't get them here, I can't transport them here. So a minibus service I think would be like amazing. You know, especially with people that, you know, obviously as you get older you can get health conditions, mobility problems.
Even just to go to the beach for the day,
something
nice, a day out.
You know, having a bit of trouble with my own family. So my dad, he's 63, he's got mobility problems, and he lives with my uncle who is 61, I believe. No, I've just got both their ages wrong. 65 and 63? I don't know why I'm looking at you.
My age group, anyway.
Anyway, so my dad's pretty much mobile, and my uncle, he's got stage 4 cancer. So he's the driver, and obviously he's very sick. We've just found out this week the cancer spread from his prostate to his bones to his liver and spleen and gallbladder. Is that right?
Oh, God.
So, you know, if he's the only driver and my dad's, you know, can't walk, how are they supposed to get things? You know, simple things, food, how are they supposed to get to doctor's appointments, hospitals, fresh air. And there's nothing. And sadly they do live in Tenterden, which is quite a while away. And I don't drive, it's my partner that drives. And you know, where our shifts are overlapping, it's becoming quite a big issue. They don't know how to do online grocery shopping. You know, he barely even can answer the phone to me. He's not great with technology whatsoever. So something like that, not just in Birchington, but you know, the whole country would be so beneficial, because it gets so isolating for him, for both of them.
Would you want me to grab the door for you? That's absolutely fine.
I hope you enjoyed your time. It was lovely.
Oh, it was lovely. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
You too. Dark, dull winter months as well, that, you know, it doesn't make it any easier. Obviously the lack of sun means less vitamin D. There's, you know, seasonal depression, and then the cold. Nobody wants to go out in the cold. It's just, you know, for somebody that's already isolated, lonely, perhaps like depressed, you're not going to look out the window in winter and think, oh, I'm going to go out today. So hopefully with the sun coming,
Yeah.
It will encourage a few more people out, but then obviously there's still the transport issue,
Yeah.
which I think is a very, very big issue. Obviously, I know there's quite good links. I don't really take the bus, but there's quite good links to Margate and St Nick's. Is the public transport's not great, is it?
No, not, it's got worse, I think, in recent
Yeah,
years.
and then taxis are so ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, and not very reliable as well.
No. Yeah, I mean, I know that as well, even if you're taking a short taxi journey, the meter starts at a certain amount, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So even if you're just going a very short distance,
Yeah.
you know, I think grocery shopping's probably a difficult one for the elderly people. Of course, there's Co-op, Sainsbury's Co-op, Morrison's, but you can't do a full week shop there.
Yeah.
And the closest one.
Yeah.
So no, it's difficult. It is difficult around here, I think.
With
Yeah,
with
100%.
well-being
Yeah,
group,
we'll definitely
because
come
you'll
into
get,
that.
you know, it's
Yeah, see, I think another idea we were toying with was not just a food bank, but food parcels.
yeah,
So each one would have, you know, the basics, and it would be set out for, you know, a single person, a couple, a family,
yeah,
with enough in for a couple of days worth of food. And that would help people who don't have the transport to get to the supermarkets, or who are struggling with their finances, or
So we refunded her bus ticket.
she came the next day.
Yeah, she came the next day because she had no other transport other than the bus. Yeah, she came the next day, used the food bank. She was really grateful.
yeah.
Obviously,
I mean, it was quite upsetting though. She said that she felt quite humiliated to be here.
Yeah.
Not to do with us obviously, but because people struggle
Yeah.
to ask for help. But yeah, the larger problem we faced with the food parcels was we can't self-fund that.
Yeah.
We can self-fund, so we top up the food bank all the time with, you know, the basics. We also like to add nappies, wipes, sanitary products, which I think a lot of food banks don't do that,
Yeah.
but they're just as important as food.
They are.
Baby milk.
I know the Salvation Army in Ramsgate are very good, and they I mean they've got a massive food bank over there, and it's really well run.
Yeah.
And they've got, you know, they've got clothing and all sorts. Of
Yeah,
things
I
like
know
that.
the Newington Centre is
Yeah.
amazing as well.
Yeah.
But when you're, you know, smaller like us, we've reached out for help
Yeah.
of other larger companies. We haven't got that. So at the minute we can't afford to do the parcels. So we do just top it up with pastas, and we get quite a lot of customers as well that donate.
Yeah.
We've also set up a little food donation pot here for cash donations. We'll use that and go to the shop and get as much as we can.
Yeah.
So it's running quite well. It's helped quite a lot of people, and the clothes as well. They get taken, and the milk, the nappies.
yeah, we
the
do like
sanitary
children's
products.
clothes. We do children and adults' clothes.
Yeah, so that, and we also do toys. We donate toys. Just anybody that wants it or needs it. Or, yeah.
I think, and I love the idea of this. It's not just a cafe; it's a community hub.
Yeah.
It's a community space. People can come in and have a cup of tea and a cake or what it might be, but they've also got somewhere they could just come and sit down and talk.
Yeah, we had a lovely lady attend, and I sat down and had a cup of coffee with her. We just had a chat. She was feeling a little bit isolated, and she was a couple of years older than me. Said that she'd relocated, struggled to make some friends. She was here probably about an hour, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And then when she left, she sent a message to the business page just saying, like, thank you, that chat really helped, I really needed that, I didn't realise, like, I needed that. And that gave me a really, you know, that gave me a sense of like, fulfilment, I suppose.
Touching, I could just feel that.
Yeah.
Right
And
now, you know.
it's just a chat, and,
Yeah.
you know, it just goes to show, if I would have had one of them chats a few years back when I was struggling, it would have made a difference.
Yeah.
And if you can just be nice to people,
Yeah.
being nice free, it's not hard to be nice. Relationships, any type, are so important. Friendships, just connections. There's actually been a lot of studies on it.
Yeah.
That, you know, people cannot function without human connection. You know, a big part of being able to connect with people is recognising diversity and
Yeah.
uniqueness, but still being able, does it matter? You know?
Yeah.
Does it matter where somebody's from, their age, their gender, their sexuality? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we are all the same, and we all, you know, just to share kindness is
There's quite a few negative people.
Yeah,
to be fair.
people judge. I especially feel like I've been judged because of my borderline personality disorder.
Right.
So I had a lot of people who know me on more of a personal level, like this is just a phase, this is you being impulsive, like this is your mental illness, and I'm thinking, okay, like that's fine, that's your opinion, that's absolutely fine. We had some people thinking that, you know, we're just two young girls, we're 23 at the time, 24 now, we wouldn't get anywhere because we're young.
Oh, it's been a battle even since the minute we signed the tenancy.
We had a lot of, I feel like, a bit of sexism.
Yeah, we had contractors try scam us.
No, they successfully did scam
Well, one
us.
did.
Right.
Because we're two young girls, we look impressionable, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Luckily, one of us is very screwed on.
No, we've learned
we've learned a lot, but
Yeah.
even like customers, some of them are we had some negatives.
Yeah.
Like we had a few people come in, do we really need another calf? And we were trying to explain we're not just a calf, we're a community based, we're trying to do for the community. We had some resistance on the fact that we're 5 and under, didn't we?
Yeah.
Obviously for people with children or grandchildren older than 5, they wanted to come here. I was like, really sorry, but we're trying to provide a safe space for children under 5 as of yet, until we can expand, because there's not a lot of places for children under 5. There is larger play areas, but because they're so big, older children go in that area as well, and everyone gets so excited in those play areas that everyone's just running around, and we thought a nice calm environment for younger children would be quite nice. But we haven't really had any resistance anymore, have we? It was just when we started, but we just had to push through.
Yeah, we had a lot of backhanded compliments, people coming in. They weren't even backhanded compliments, they were just backhanded comments, weren't they?
Yeah.
Literally poking their head in, wow, another calf.
But change is good.
Yeah.
You can't stick to the same thing. We need to evolve as well as the rest of the world. People that we would bring to Birchington, which we thought was very unfair.
Yeah, because what does that mean? What type of people use a soup kitchen? What does that mean?
What those people don't realise is the people they're worried about are here anyway.
Because there's such a lack of help, it increases crime rates because people are stealing
Yeah.
from like Co-op, Sainsbury's, all that, because they physically can't afford food and they're trying to feed themselves, feed their families.
Yeah.
But if there was more places that do food banks, that do the soup kitchens, yeah, it's a small loss of money, but we know we'll be doing good, so it's worth that. There would be less crime. If there was more caring in the world, there'd be less crime. Like, we're trying to do good.
You know, what does lead to crime? I have a criminology degree, and it's very, very, as you know, linked to mental health.
Yeah.
To lack of resources, lack of services. It's all hand in hand. But I think what made it really real for us, and we knew we were doing the right decision, we'd come up with the idea of the soup kitchen, and we were mid-renovation, and we were here day in, day out, 12 hours a day. One of us, it was you, we'd noticed a homeless man sleeping on the doorstep. So
yeah, we'd just finished, I think it was like midnight. No, it wasn't midnight because Co-op was still
Co-op
open.
was still open.
It was like 10 to 10. It was really late at night. We'd been here all
the
day.
shop had no equipment in, but we knew we had to do something. How can you just walk by? And
Yeah, so we went to Co-op and bought him a hot chocolate and pastry, or like a Cornish pasty or something, and a big bottle of water.
Stuff from my house. I brought gloves, socks. I didn't have a sleeping bag, but I found a blanket.
Brought an orange.
An orange, some fruit. We brought as much as we could.
It's that basic humanity which.
It is just basic. It is though, isn't it? But people don't see that. I don't know how you could do that.
People tend to walk on by homeless people and pretend they're not there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than one of the nicest things you can do for somebody that's homeless is actually stop and talk to them.
That's what they want the most, is like compassion.
Yeah, which goes back to the whole connection thing, doesn't it?
People assume that homeless people are nasty and like addicts, so they won't give them money. But at the end of the day, even if they was to use that money for their addiction, it's their coping mechanism. It's nothing to do with us, what they spend their money on.
Absolutely.
They don't judge us for drinking a glass of wine after, before bed. Do you know what I mean? So whatever they spend their money on, if that's their coping strategy, why can't
if people don't want to fund what they believe is an addiction,
then buy them.
Like, there's absolutely no way.
And everyone's got a spare blanket at home. I've got about 20 at home. Do you know what I mean? Donate a blanket.
Packet of crisps, something. Like, there's no way people don't have that. You know, if you're lucky if you've got a roof over your head, food in your tummy, and a bed to sleep in.
You know, we've always cared about helping the homeless. Even back to when we was in the sixth form, we both took charge of raising money for Porchlight. So
Yeah.
the school had already been in contact, but they asked for people to take charge.
Team leaders,
Yeah, me and Ellie done that together, and we arranged for the whole of sixth form to sleep out in the car park for the night, and we all had to gather cardboard to gather what the experience would be like of sleeping cold.
What was it as well? We had no food for the night, no blankets, just literal cardboard, and we did have sleeping bags.
We had sleeping bags.
We had to
bring
bring it all
sleeping
from
bags.
home.
But yeah, I think, how much did we raise? It was over £2,000.
We raised.
Yeah, but obviously we was only 18 at the time.
Yeah,
but we want to continue doing more.
We did it for one night and it was awful, and that made it.
Oh yeah, we was huddled up together. It was freezing, and it just shows how awful people experience. And obviously you're going to be aggy if you're living in those conditions. You're not going to be the friendliest person. You're having a bad life, not just a bad day. You're having a bad week, month, year. For everyone who's coming out of their nice warm homes with a nice cup of tea, and then they're looking down on people, you're going to be angry.
It's the vulnerability as well, because you get a.
Like teenagers, the lack of respect, certain individuals that abused homeless people.
It is upsetting because you could be homeless, I could be homeless, you know.
Could happen to any of us.
I did have, I was living in Canterbury, my tenancy had come to an end, I'd given my notice, and me and my partner, we had a new place lined up. And last minute they dropped out, it fell through, which resulted in us having nowhere to go. I'd already given my notice in, and it just, luckily I had some friends and family that I could stay with while I found my current property, so it was only a couple of weeks, but had I not had the friends and family, that could have resulted in me being homeless on the streets. You know, we can all be there, we can unfortunately all be faced with that. If you're renting, I don't know if you rent, but how expensive it is, it's ridiculously expensive. And you know, if somebody doesn't have a guarantor or
so many requirements nowadays, you got to earn like 32 times the rent or something. If you earn that much, you don't need to rent. Do you know what I mean? It is so difficult to rent nowadays. That's the thing, people work till they're elderly and they burn themselves out, and then they live off a pension that they get.
My dad must be 64. I'm awful, so if he listens, I'm sorry. Because his 65th birthday will be January 2026, and he's just found out they're cutting £100 a week from his pension. That's £400 a month that they're cutting off, just because he's hit 65. But he's still
if anything, he needs it more.
He's still going to have the same rent, the same bills, the same groceries, but they're cutting £100 per week. No, me and my partner were very lucky to take this, to get this property we're in. But it's a masonette above a shop for £1,100 per month, and that's without bills. You've got to consider, you know, gas and electric's going up again, water, Wi-Fi, council tax. We pay a lot of council tax.
My council tax £300 a month.
Yeah, mine's luckily not that much, but we're both working full time. I see him an hour a day maybe. Some days I don't see him. Where our jobs, our shifts, they overlap. How are you meant to enjoy your life when you're working?
Oh, you're just surviving at this point. Everyone is, to the cost of living. I think that's why it's so nice that we do these things to try and help people have a break. It's a bit of a breather. It's a distraction.
It helps me as well. You know, the nice conversations I have with my customers, the friendships I've made.
Oh yeah, it brings joy to my day. I'm not gonna lie. The knitting group, we've now both taken up knitting because of it, so we can sit and kind of lead it. It's actually really nice. I look forward to the little groups.
Yeah, me and Ellie started a race.
Which I'm losing.
Yeah, who's gonna read more books this year?
You've got an advantage.
What are you on?
About book 10.
Oh, I'm on 15.
I've got 2 kids, she's got an advantage. And a dog.
I just love coming in, and, you know, I sometimes, obviously, I get down, I get sad. We all do, and the cost of living gets me down quite a lot. But then I come in here and it shows me it's worth it.
I think it makes it more personal here because we are just 2 young adults trying to make a start for us. We're not some big corporation that's just doing it for the money. Do you know what I mean? We're not some large store that is just thinking about statistics, how many people can we have, how many all this. No, we actually want to get to know people. So all of our regulars, like we pretty much remember every single one of our customers. Maybe not on a name basis, but like on a facial basis. And I'm like, oh, how have you been this week?
It's the latte with the 2 sugars or something.
Yeah,
like
we've got
that.
a regular who has some dietary requirements, and we as soon as he comes in, we go the usual like that, and we get to know everyone, and I think it's so nice that
we're
are
just so
personal
open as well.
Oh yeah,
They are brilliant skills girls, because some of the cafes around here have regulars. People regularly go in and they know, and they come somewhere and they know them by first name.
Yeah.
By the first name, and you know exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Then it's they feel part of.
Yeah.
And just not just with the customers, but I think something important to mention is this is so new to us. We've only been here 2 months.
Oh yeah, this is our first commercial like business.
Yeah.
So we had our previous, but that weren't in a base. This is our first ever shop. So with our first customers, obviously they've become regulars now, and they've said that it's so lovely to see how much we've grown. So we was doing all right to begin with, but there was obviously still a lot we had to learn, and pricing, like
we've rejigged the pricing
and
many times.
Doing risk assessments, just loads of stuff, and they said it's so nice to see how much you've grown and like how well you guys are doing already when we've only been open 2 months. So we've had to learn so quick, keep up the pace of it.
But yeah, to add to that, not just the customers, but we've found friends in a lot of the other shop owners.
Yeah.
So
I've got some friends.
There's a Birchington traders chat for all the shop owners.
Yeah.
But then, we see these people every day. We pass their shop, they pass ours. Haskell's, the fire company down there, they helped us out a lot. A couple of weeks ago, we had a problem. They're amazing. Lee and Chris, very kind. And then we have next door. We always speak to him. He's great. Yeah. So we both end up going for our break at the same time.
Even the new shop that's open, Sandwich Guy.
Yes.
He's lovely
He's so lovely. We go there for our salad.
And
we do our own salads here, but
his salad, though.
We go there because he's just a brand new business. We know what it's like to be new. We go support you. He's actually so lovely, and he's very similar to us on a personal level.
Guy.
Yeah.
And I do recommend the salads if you fancy a salad. Get down there; they're delicious.
I haven't tried one down there yet.
They're very good.
The sandwiches look nice as well. Everything looks nice.
Although it does feel like when we buy a salad from there, it feels like we're cheating on our own shop. But they're really nice, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think as much as Birchington is a very large village, it does have a village atmosphere.
Yeah.
And people do look out for each other. And
it definitely feels different to I lived in Margate and you've lived in Ramsgate.
Oh yeah,
it definitely.
Everyone seems more friendly here.
And I've lived in Canterbury, I've lived in Manchester, and Birch is my favourite.
So if you walk down Station Road and you get to know people say hello to you.
Yeah.
Even if they don't know you.
Yeah.
If they recognise your face, people always say hello to me. Probably because I'm a bit noticeable. But
even when I walk my puppy, everyone's approaching me, trying to speak to me. Like it's really lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think even if you are having a bit of a bad day, like we all have, and you're just walking down Station Road, the High Street, there's people that are going to smile at you, which forces you to smile, which then essentially cheers you up.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you know what? It's not so bad. Like my day's not so bad. Everyone's so chatty and helpful.
This has been great. If you enjoyed this podcast, please press the like button and follow Peace Unplugged. Thank you.